to the eye. There's nothing wrong with that. The object of the exercise is to get the cue through the ball straight and knock it in the hole, and he does that very well. I actually think he's really hard to play against because you've also got to hide the white a lot. His long game is exceptional.
OK, well, Karen Wilson, no matter how you characterise him, is on the brink here of a first ever place in a Crucible semi-final.
Yeah, and he took quite a while to come back into the arena, so it was just under the 3 minutes, so he wants to get this quarter-final over as quickly as possible, and he's faced with a long pot to start.
One.
Now what will or belief has Mark Allen got left to produce in this match? Has he resigned himself? The green. There's a good angle to get into the side of the pack. Played this well. Now, obviously, no more red, so imperative. A good angle in the blue. Okay, he's too strong. He'd always play the bulk colour into the bunch, but oh, don't be short, Mark. Whatever you do.
Yeah, he was short on the blue in the previous frame, and then casually just got down and missed the sitter. He can't get on anything from here. Just the 5 points in the safety shot.
Nine. Mark Allen, 9.
He's left this red to the right corner. Yeah, what the boys were saying about Karen, I don't think he's the most natural player in the world, but what he has got is a very straight cue action, which obviously helps in shots like this from distance. Hopefully I haven't jinxed him. There it is. But long potting is definitely a strength.
One.
Still got a couple of reds available, and maybe one at the right-hand side of the bunch might also be available, so it's not a bad chance, this.
Five.
This looks good. This looks very good. Excellent.
8.
I'm not sure if that red I mentioned. The one at the right of the bunch, if it goes, he'll play for it. If not, he'll go into them. Now, can he get past the pink?
16.
That's what he's looking at, to the potting angle. Very good.
17.
Well, he's looking at the pack, and obviously that red I mentioned doesn't go. He was looking at the possibility of a plant in there as well. We'll find out the way he plays this shot. There's something. He hasn't screwed into the middle pocket.
Foul.
Dear, oh dear.
Mark Allen 17.
That's the
Karen
last
Wilson,
thing
4.
he thought was going to happen there. Now that was, once again, that was a lapse in concentration. He'd spotted something in the pack and then just got down and put the cue ball in the middle pocket. Uncharacteristic mistakes from Mark Allen here. So what had he spotted in the pack? A plant? Must have been. Yeah, the ones in the middle of that little bunch look like they're on.
Yeah, it's just the cue ball. He needs to watch he doesn't go in off in the right corner. So playing it was bottom. Now it's on the black. It's not easy.
1.
But if it goes in, he's got a chance to finish this match off.
He was trying to cannon that red
8.
on the left side of the table there. Would have kept the white closer to the reds, but he's such a good long potter, you wouldn't see him missing this one. This is easier than the one he missed previously.
Yeah, can screw around, leave black to the same pocket. A little bit surprised he didn't play for the black. Because if you play for the black, you're just a little bit too much pace. You've got the pink to the left middle.
Well, it's a tester with the rest. But can you believe it? That
Karen
looked like
Wilson,
it
9.
was going to drop in, and well, it's half in the pocket. Little smile from Karen there, because he knows if this pink goes in, what a chance to close the match out.
It looked in, Dennis, didn't it? Just seemed to go to the right-hand side of the pocket right at the very end.
Well, what a time for Mark Allen to, well, he's just playing off this red to get a good safety shot.
Well, still showing discipline. It'd be easy to just take that red on to the far left corner.
And with that pink over the corner pocket, there could be a little bit of fun and games, and it could last for quite some time, because gradually, as they play a safety shot, the reds will move closer to the pink.
Well, I said he never shies away from taking on a difficult pot. Well, he's got one here. Choice of 2 reds to the left corner. There's he always does that. He comes across to see the pot angle of the object ball.
From tight on the side cushion, this will be some shot.
No, that's brilliant.
What a shot that was. Relied on that wonderful cue action of his to push the cue through in a straight line. And up in the Champions Lounge, his coach Barry Stark will have watched that shot and be full of praise for that. He's worked with Barry for quite a number of years.
Yeah, obviously that shot is made
7.
a little bit easier for being 12-6 in front, but still it required excellent straight cueing and keeping very still in the shot. And watch his head, no movement whatsoever. Watched it go in.
Eight.
Just about composure now, that's all it is. To get over the line. Cut that a little bit fine, getting on this red.
14. $15.
There was nothing to pick between these players before this match started. They played each other on 8 occasions. It's 4 each. Mark did well to win the Masters, defeating Karen in the final, but of course back
22.
in 2016 it was Karen that defeated Mark here in the Crucible, 13-9 in the second round.
$23.
He's not had the cue ball absolutely on a string so far in this break.
$29. $30.
No, it depends what angle he's got. He might play for the red and the right hand side cushion here. If he's got the angle, he may as well play for it now. Well, he's going to leave it till last. He'll probably screw back for the blue
37.
of that red and the cushion.
$38.
He's only going to need the red, so he'd want the cue ball as close to the cushion as possible to just drop the red in then.
Yeah, my apologies, I miscounted. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dennis. Match ball. There'll be no heroics here.
$45.
Safely in the pocket. He'll have to wait till next year, but he will lift the world title, you'd feel. 1 year, but it's so difficult. Every player's ambition is to lift the world title, but every player's ambition also is to get to the one table situation at the Crucible
53.
Theatre And Karen is going to do that for the very first time. Mark's got his gear ready to go. Doesn't matter about the yellow. He comes forward to congratulate Karen Wilson. Two great players. I'd like to see them having a little chat. But in the end, Karen Wilson was just too strong. And he gets himself into his first semi-final here at the Crucible Theatre, winning the match 13 frames to 6.
Well, congratulations to Kyron Wilson, the world number 9, into his first Crucible semi-final. What a fantastic achievement. And a little bit of a nuance of, not revenge exactly, but a little extra sweet having beaten Mark Allen, the guy who knocked him out, obviously, in the Masters final.
Maybe there's a little bit of that there, but the object of the exercise, get to that one table and get one step closer to winning the World Championship. He was the best player in the match, and by some considerable distance. Mark Allen just simply didn't play to the same standard he played in the second round. That's the story.
How will Mark reflect on this? What's he going to change? How will he look back on it, Alan?
It's hard to say because of the sort of changes he's made with his coach mentally as much as anything. It's not worked. He'll go back to the drawing board. You know, he'll have a couple of months off and he'll come back and he'll be strong. I feel for him because I like Mark Allen. I like his game. I like his, you know, he's very forthright in his opinions. But he practices hard, and guys who do that have got my ultimate respect, and he'll be back. Yeah,
he will be back, obviously. Kyron Wilson is. How's he going to do in this one-table format? What do you feel is going to be his strengths in that occasion?
Listen, he'll take 1, maybe 2 frames to settle down into it, and that'll be it. As soon as the snooker players, the table is the same wherever, no matter where you put it. It's a big thing, yes, to go out there, and it's totally different, the venue, from what it's been. But after he's played a frame and a half, he'll be settled down. OK, well, I know that Kyron Wilson is absolutely delighted, as indeed is another member of his family, his wee boy Finlay, who's joined him for the interview with Rob.
Kyron, a special day for you, Finlay and the whole family. I don't think we can say it's the biggest win of your career because you won the Shanghai 3 years ago. But this is right up there, isn't it? You've made it through to the one-table setup for the first time. It must be a really special feeling.
Yeah, you know, I definitely wouldn't say it's the biggest win of my career. It's definitely up there. It was always a bit of a goal of mine to reach the one-table setup, and yeah, just can't wait to get out there and experience the Crucible one table.
Were you surprised it wasn't closer in the end? I mean, we all enjoyed that incredibly emotional Masters final in January. I know the two of you get on really well. There's a lot of respect between the two of you. You might have thought that the pistol would have made that closer. Yeah,
I just think... you know, it's a long old process. You have to sometimes seize on your opponent when you sense a little bit of weakness. I could feel that Mark was maybe struggling a little bit towards the end of last night. So every little mistake that he made, I just felt that I punished it and played really well. I was really happy with my performance last night.
How big was that moment on the brown in the 14th frame when, you know, at one stage it looked, if he'd have potted that, he'd have come back to 8-6. All of a sudden, you mopped up his mistake and you once again re-established a 4-frame cushion.
Yeah, you could say it was a big turning point, but to be honest, I felt like everything was in check for myself. You know, my temperament was good, my long game was there, my safety was there, my break building was there. So even if it went 8-6, I still felt very positive, still felt very strong. And, you know, when you're playing somebody like Mark Allen, if you've got a 2-frame cushion, you're chuffed. So for me, it's just about putting the negatives away, focusing on the positives, and that's all I'd have done.
Those of us within snooker have known about your great talent for a few years, but people who maybe only tune in once a year to the Crucible are thinking, wow, this young guy is brilliant. This is what a great story. And we only have to go back a few years when you lost your place on tour and you were working in a bar earning 200 quid a week. You've come a really long way in the last 3 or 4 years, haven't you? You and your family.
It's all down to, you know, this little boy as well coming along. He came along in 2015, probably wasn't treating snooker as it should have been. You know, tinkering with this, tinkering with that, and not working as hard as I could have. Finlay came along and, you know, I had to earn a living for him. You know, we bought our first house and, you know, all of a sudden it turns into a job. And, you know, I grew up then.
But a job you're relishing, and how much does it add to these occasions to have your wife and your brother and your whole family and Finlay here to share these moments with?
Oh, I'm chuffed. He came up yesterday with my wife and my other little boy. We said the semi-finals, so they're a little bit naughty coming up sooner. But yeah, we're going to have a go on the little snooker table, aren't we? Should we go and have a little game on the snooker table?
Yeah, we've got a little table in the press room. It's just perfect for you, and we'll get you a little snooker cue as well. Do you fancy a little go?
Do you want to go? Yeah, I'll play you. I'll play you.
Just finally, do you even care who you face in the semis?
No, I'm not bothered. Everybody who's left's obviously playing well. They've been on top of their game all week, so whoever comes through will be a tough game.
I'll tell you what, I'll make sure I give it the big one for you when you come down for the semi-finals. It's a very special occasion.
I can't promise a jive with though.
You can't leave me hanging. That tune in tribute to your granddad's brilliant. We'll get your dad dancing when he comes down for the semi-finals.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not a very good dancer, am I?
Neither am I. That's no excuse. Well done, Kyron.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.